Hi guys, think all are doing well, and here we are with her another new video. And today we are going to talk about the presidential state car, United States of America. So, hearing this, I think this is going to be a cool journey discussing about the beast. Here we start with an introduction. The United States presidential car, or the state car, nicknamed the Beast, old one Cadillac one, first car codename Stagecoach. There are many like that. The current model presidential state car is a unique Cadillac that debuted on September 24, 2018. And when we talk about the history of it, there are lots of Cadillac models coming up. When you talk of the old Cadillac model used to a Barack Obama Cadillac one, but now we are going to talk about the current model. And to start with, let's start from the development. In 2014, General Motors was awarded 3 contracts for the new limousine. Each state car was expected to cost US dollars 1 to 1.5 million, and by January 2016, GM had been paid 15,800 or 15,865, equivalent to we look like 16 billion 8,000 no 832 679 in 2019 for its work on the new model. After prototypes of new model were seen driving on public roads, wrapped in monochromatic multi-scale camouflage, Cadillac confirmed to Fox News that we have completed our task and we have handed over the vehicle to the customer. The Secret Service confirmed that the program to replace the presidential car was on track and on schedule and should be in service by late summer in 2018. Fox News' Gary Gastillo opined that the camouflage prototype looked similar to Cadillac CT6. And that's about the development sector. And when we move on to the realization sector, still nicknamed the Beast, as established with the 2001 to 2009 model, the current model debuted with the presidential trip to New York City on September 24, 2018. Road and Track reported that the design appears to be symbol evolution of the old model, with more Cadillac design cues like an Escalade sedan. Road and Track described the state car as massive and tall, and weighing between 15,000 to 20,000 pounds, that is in kg, 6,800 to 9,900 kg. NBC News reported a weight of 20,000 pounds, the capacity to seat 7, and pinned that the limousine was intended to evoke the aesthetic of the Cadillac XT6. Business Insider reported in 2019 that the Beast is eventually built upon GM truck chassis. Car and driver said that the car was built on the GMC two-kick platform weight such as 15,000 pounds, which has headlamps from the Cadillac Escalade and the grille from the Cadillac Escalade concept car. In addition to the defensive measures designed to protect the president, the state car also has stores of blood in president's type of medical emergencies. These are the what we could say the more medical aids in this very crucial medical aids. The car is hermetically sealed against fluid attacks and features run-flat tires, night vision devices, smoke screens, and oil slicks as defensive measures against attackers. NBC reported that the car features armor made of aluminium, ceramic, and steel. The exterior walls have thickness of 8 inches, that is 200 mm. The windows are multi-layered and 5 inches, that is 130 mm thick, and each door believed to weigh as much as those on the Boeing 757 actually can amplify its handlers to prevent entry. As May 2019, the current model was used alongside the previous model. And we will be talking about the protection and the first aid aids in the later coming minutes, very detailed and in a calm manner. And I forgot to say you guys one thing. And now this car owns to the Mr. Donald Trump, and you all know that, so I don't want to say anything that I saw that. When we talk more about it, the 1.2 million liveries limousine was presented to the president in 2018, replacing the previous Carla one used by Barack Obama. Now we are talking about the debate. It's the car that goes Chuck Small ran as it excited the US Embassy in Ireland 8 years ago. The latest model of the Beast is kitted out with bulletproof windows, puncture-resistant tires, and a satellite phone. There are also pump-action shotguns, tear gas cannons, and bags of President's RS blood type on the board too, which is a real blood group. And when we talk about the debate of Beast, Donald Trump's presidential state car debuted on September 24, 2018. The new model is a unique car lag fitted with dozens of defenses mechanisms to keep the president safe. The first presidential car was launched in 1910s. However, it wasn't until more than a decade later that the first car lag was introduced to then President Herbert Hoover. Prior to the latest model, former President Barack Obama rode in his car launched on January 2009. It carried him 2 miles down Pennsylvania Avenue to its inaugural parade and also left him trapped on a ramp outside the US Assembly in Ireland. US Security Services later denied it was the Beast that got stuck, claiming instead that a spare limo carrying staff and support personnel was involved in the incident we could see. And that's about that. And when we look how secure it is, the latest model of the Beast is extremely secure, we could say, with windows built up with more than 5 layers of glass and polycarbonate. The windows can withstand bullets and do not open. The windows can't be opened. In fact, the only window that opens is the driver's and just 3 inches. As well as the windows, the doors are bulletproof. They are armor plated, more than 8 inches thick and fully sealed, protect those inside from a chemical attack. Oh, they weigh same as those Boeing 757 as I said before. The tires and shred and puncture resistant and has steel rims which would enable the Beast to escape even if the tires were somehow damaged. Inside the body cover, made up of steel, aluminum, titanium and ceramic, are reinforced steel plates which protects the vehicle from bombs. And now we can move on to what accessories it carries in a short way. The Beast is full kitted out when it comes to defense accessories. Inside are pump action shotguns and front tear gas grenade launchers are fitted, as I told before. The car also had a frightening system in the rear, as well as a smoke screen dispensers. And when we talk more about the inside, also inside the vehicle are bags of President's RH negative blood type, just in case he had ever needed transfusion. The car has its own panic button and oxygen supply too, which is able to trumps from the rear. From the rear, front of the car sports night vision cameras. And when you talk about features for the President Trump also has features in the car catered just for him. For example, in the rear, he has personal seat fitted with satellite phone and a direct line to the Vice President and the Pentagon. And when you talk about, there is also a glass partition to separate the driver and the passengers. However, only Trump has the switch to lower it. And when you talk about who drives it or the driver, the beast is drawn by a chauffeur who was trained by the US Secret Service. The driver has knowledge on how to deal with most demanding driving conditions as well as how to escape an evacuation. And when we look other vehicles visiting the UK as well as the base vessel, there will be a number of other vehicles with him on these vehicles. He moves along with Air Force One, the White House in the air, will fly the President of London's jet, and they service the places where we sit and all. And what we could in the coming minutes, it will be a full review more than this. And when we talk about this, it has one thing I forgot to say, that it has its own aircrafts to transport it through air, and that's really great. And now we move on to the detailed review, that is the like a biodata of the beast. When we talk about this category, it is a armored limousine. It is debuted on September 24, 2018. It replaced Cadillac One, the previous US President Barack Obama's official limousine. The history US presidential car. When you look on the history of US presidential car, was introduced in 1910, and a decade later, then US President Herbert Hoover introduced the first Cadillac. When we talk more about the history that is there. When you talk about the present car features, the differences and all, first let's start from the windows in a detailed way. The windows of the car are made of 5 layers of glass and polycarbonate, and they can withstand armor-piercing bullets. Only driver's window can open and adjust up to 3 inches as said before. And we went over talk about defenses and protection. From protection, the vehicle had concealed pump-action shotguns, tear gas cannons, and blood bags for the president's rear blood. When we talk about the driver's cabin has proper communication and GPS tracking center. When we talk about the body of the vehicle, 5-inch thick military-grade armor made of combination material like steel, titanium, aluminum, and ceramics. When you talk about the car front, the vehicle front possesses tear gas grenade launchers and night vision cameras. When we talk about the chauffeur, trained by US Secret Service, the driver can cope with the most challenging driving condition. He is trained for make emergency escape, evasions, and can perform 180-degree turns. Rear seat. When you talk about rear seat, has a satellite phone with direct line to US Vice President and Pentagon. When you talk about the rear compartment, it can sit for 4 persons apart from the US President. The interior is partitioned by a glass that can be lowered by the President only. There is also a panic button and an independent oxygen supply in case of emergencies. The fuel tank, armor-plated, filled with explosion prevention foam, can withstand even direct heat. When you talk about the door, armor-plated 8 inches thick, equal to weight of a cabin door of Boeing 757. When closed, the door seals the car 100%, protects against chemical weapons too. Tires, cable reinforced steel tires, steel rims, shred and puncture resistant. The car can escape even with burst tires. Chassis reinforced steel plates protects the car against bombs, mines. We talk about the car boot, tear gas, firefighting system, smoke screen dispensers. When we talk about the president's cavalcade has met, this black truck carries sensors to dictate and special gear to respond to any sort of weapon attack, be it nuclear, chemical, or biological. It also doubles up as a storage vehicle. When we look at the Roadrunner, it is it is a swift-footed SUV and has a large satellite communication array. Keeps the President and White House officials securely connected through encrypted voice, internet, and audio communications. When you talk about the Watchtower, it has vertical antennas, special domes, can jam any communication or remote denoting devices, can also detect projectiles, unnamed air vehicles too. When we talk about the support vehicles, they can carry the president's daughters, members of the cabinet, a top military aide, and the security detail and additional security men. And when we talk about CAT or the CAT, these are usually black Subarus or large SUVs with police lights, and they have their gear gates open with heavily armed and armed commando hanging out of the back, with an assault rifle at the ready. The CAT or CAT gives the presidential cavalry this heavy-hitting combat punch, which makes the Beast or the current presidential unity the most secured and fast security car in the world. And when we talk about this is actually needed for the US president, as there may be many attacks, many extracts, there may be many different forces, anything against him. So it is really needed for protecting him. And I think it's out of time, and we are almost finished in our review. And thank you for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next video.